Hello everyone, Ribat here from CDP Research Center. I am responsible for all program coordination at our city campuses. You might also know me from our Sunday classes from city campuses. We're putting together a video today for our students who have access to our intensive feedback sessions, or students who have enrolled in our intensive program or advanced mentorship program. Simply because we have brought forward a few operational changes to our intensive feedback sessions to make the preparation for our students much more effective, smooth, and make the operation much more efficient. Okay, so let's start with our timetable. So because this looks a bit different from previously, as you can see, we have 2 sessions a day, so 2 lecture classes a day. Both lecture classes are covering the same topic, so that means the morning class will have the same topic as the evening class. The evening class will have the same topic as the morning class. The morning class will start at 10:30, finishing at 1 p.m. The evening class will start at 6, finishing at 8:30 p.m. As I said, both lecture classes will have the same topic covered on the day. The first section of the timetable is for city campuses, and addresses which are on the left hand side. And the second part of the timetable is our parameter timetable. There's one thing to note on parameter timetable, that our Sunday classes are run from a different campus. Okay, so note the address. It's not going to be the address of a Macquarie Street. It's going to be Church Street, just only on Sunday. Every other day is the same center. Okay, so as I said, the first thing to note is that we have 2 sessions available a day, so you may choose to attend any of the sessions to cover the topic of the day. Okay, so for example, on a Wednesday, we have a speaking content recognition class. Morning lecture class will cover the same topic as will the evening class. Okay, so you may choose to come to any of those. Another thing I would like to point in these lecture classes, the reason the classes are 2.5 hours is because there is a half an hour in-class practice, or in-class intensive practice, where the purpose of that practice is to kind of give you an idea of your current preparation level. So when you enroll, we might have given you a progress tracker of some sort, okay, which says regular class logbook. Okay, so what's the purpose of this? So you are attending a summarized written text class. It's a very important task. So once you've done that practice in that class, you will kind of get a feel of what your preparation is. If you feel that you're very lost, you could not get a single thing from that particular practice, you are completely off topic and whatnot, you are preparation level red, yellow and whatnot. Okay? Usually the lecturer will give you your preparation level. At this point of time, you just want to note that down. Okay? And then based on your preparation level indicator at that time, you may choose to use our different facilities. Okay, what sort of facilities to use, I'll come back to that in a minute. But at this point, this is the lecture classes. Our weekend classes are a bit different. We have only 1 session, so there will be no morning and evening, just 1 session on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Weekend lecture classes starts at 11, and lecture classes finishes around 3 o'clock. Okay. One thing to note is that during both of those lecture classes, there will be a dedicated walk-in consultation slots. Okay, so these consultation slots are available for all of our students. So any students enrolling in any program can access to these consultations. Okay, what's the purpose of these consultations? The main reason that we have put together a walk-in consultation there is we would like you to clear all your doubts after your lecture classes. Okay, so let's say you have attended read aloud class today. Okay, after the classes, there has to be some sort of doubt that was not covered by the lecturer, or something that you're a bit confused about. We would advise you to stay back and ask questions, clear your doubts, so that you can move on to other topics very easily. Okay, or let's say you have attended read aloud class on Thursday. Okay, and the class was on the evening. So after 8:30, you went home. You still feel like that. I'm not really clear about what read aloud class was and whatnot. We would advise you to come to our 5 p.m. walk-in consultation on Friday before the class starts. Ask the consultant your doubts. They will try to clear the doubts as much as possible. So once you have finished 1 cycle of lecture classes, so that means 10 consecutive weekday classes or 2 consecutive weekends, all of your 20 topics will be covered as shown on the progress tracker. So you should have some sort of a preparation level by that time already, okay, either by your own or given by your instructor from the class. Once that is done, now you're eligible to start your intensive preparation practice. Okay, so what is intensive preparation practice and how is it a bit different from previously now? So intensive preparation practice is basically a feedback test which is made up of questions which is not PTE exam questions. Okay, so these questions are not available in the market. Okay, so these are not repeated exam questions. These are questions made by our faculties. Okay, so we have put together those questions just to test your true preparation level. Okay, so we would highly advise you to prepare yourself as much as you can before you take this test, because you don't want to hear from this feedback test general information. Okay, so let's say you've taken a read aloud feedback test and the feedback that we're giving you is that your fluency is not that great. Okay, so this is not something that you want to hear from an intensive feedback test. You want to hear exactly what your true preparation level is. The way you're speaking, is it good enough to get your content recognized? Are you going to be able to get all the necessary marks towards your reading section from read aloud or not? When you're doing your written lecture, do you have enough content or not? Something that you're not able to judge yourself, this is when the intensive feedback session comes into play to tell you exactly what your true preparation level is. If the exam questions are not repeated in the exam, what will happen to you if you are taking an exam where nothing gets repeated? And thus you can prepare accordingly. So that's why we would like you to have a bit of a cool-off period right after your lecture classes to prepare your new own. In every lecture classes, we give you some sort of a study plan that we would like to go back to and review, and then what you do is you start your intensive feedback sessions. Okay, so how will the intensive feedback session look like? So let's say you have gone through all the preparation of lecture classes, you feel ready for intensive feedback. Okay, so in your portal, if you have access to our intensive feedback sessions, you will see lots of tests now. Okay, as you can see from here, read aloud intensive feedback test, repeat sentence intensive feedback test, and whatnot, all the topics that we cover in our intensive sessions. Okay, now our intensive feedback sessions are not shown in our timetable anymore. Okay, so that means you're not going to see a set time for your feedback sessions, and the topic on the day is also not locked. So on a particular day, based on the availability of consultations, you can choose any topic. Okay, how have we managed to brought this change forward? Very simple. Now on, if you want to have an intensive feedback consultations, you just have to simply book the consultation. We are going to make our feedback consultations available 6 days a week from Monday to Saturday. Obviously subject to availability, but what will this do is it will allow you to save a lot of time, because now you will know that if you book a consultation at 7, there will be a consultant available for you to give a feedback on the particular topic that you have asked for. Okay, how does that work? So every week when we publish our timetable, we're going to provide you a booking link of some sort. Okay, so if you look at the screen now, you will be able to see. So as you can see, this is the intensive feedback consultations. If you choose to come to our city campuses for consultations, and the available dates for the consultations feedback. There are some instructions that I would like you to read before you book. Right? The main thing that you need to keep in mind here is that you're supposed to provide your PTE portal email address when you're booking the consultations, and only use this particular link if you are coming to city campus. For Parramatta, you have to use a different link. Obviously, the link will show you if it is a Parramatta booking link or a city booking link. Okay. So let me take you through the process of how to book it. So let's say I want to book a consultation on 6th of January on a Monday. So I just click on the date, and then available slots are there. Let's say I want to book a consultation at 6 p.m. So I'll just simply click on it, confirm, and then basically I have to write my name. Next thing, as I said, we have to provide our PTE portal email address. So you're just going to quickly write down your PTE portal email address. Okay. Once you have put together your details, the necessary details, now you will choose the consultation type or consultation topic. It starts with some general topics. Okay, so for example, let's say you find yourself a bit lost in the PTE preparation. Okay, you don't really know when to start your intensive feedback sessions, when to do mock test and whatnot. You can choose the course preparation plan or study plan, just to give you a bit of a guide right before your PTE preparation journey starts. Okay, then there could be post-lecture consultations. Okay, so let's say you have done written lecture classes twice, you've gone through the walk-in consultations. If you're still lost, you will have more questions to ask. You want to clear the doubts about your templates and whatnot, about the template utilization of whatnot. You want to find out which template you want to use for your written lecture summaries, spoken text and whatnot. You can choose that topic for consultation. Okay, full mock test review is one of them, and then comes your customized study plan. exam preparation study plan more. Okay, but right now I want to talk about mainly the intensive feedback topic. Okay, so once you have decided that on a Monday 6 p.m. you would like to get a feedback on your read alouds, okay, so then you just simply basically choose read aloud and you schedule the event. Okay, so once you have clicked on schedule the event, the event will be created for you and notification will be sent to your email. Okay, now before you move on to that consultation or come to that consultation on 6th of January, there are a couple of things you have to do. So since you have chosen read aloud feedback, what you need to do now is go to your portal. Since this is your first read aloud feedback test, there are 2 tests that we will need you to do. Okay, first that you need to find is a test called intensive feedback. So your topic is read aloud, the short form of that is RA. So you quickly scroll through your PTE portal test that's available to you and you find out that your test is read aloud intensive feedback test 1. So you simply click on that start and take that test. Another test that we would like you to take is a preparation check test. Okay, so this test is designed to kind of give you an overall idea of the test. This is made up of only important questions. Since time doesn't permit, we haven't put any writing tasks there, but all the other tasks are there just to kind of probe you with different other topics, or kind of see if you're doing read aloud with other topics, or if you're doing repeat sentence after read aloud, how do you perform? Okay, so based on your fatigue, based on your confusion and whatnot, this preparation check test are just there to kind of test your preparation at that particular time. Okay, so these are the 2 tests that you must finish before your 6 o'clock consultation time. Okay, so the good news for you is you can take this test from home, or if you prefer to take the test from our lab, all you have to do is show up in our lab at 5 p.m. You have 1 hour before that consultation starts, do the test, wait for your consultation 6 p.m., see your consultant, and the consultant will give you feedback on the read aloud. Okay, so all these informations are given to you in a guide. I will publish this guide to you today with the timetable, so you can have a look what it is. So it has a step-by-step procedures that you need to take for your intensive feedback sessions. After attending all 10 lecture classes, step 1 is obviously go to your PTE portal, take any of the preparation check tests. Okay, so the step 2 is take any of the preparation check tests. As I said, these are made up of some important PTE topics. Intensive preparation check test is here. We would recommend you to follow a cycle. So first you take the read aloud, then repeat sentence write from dictation, then read your lecture summary spoken text, summarizing text, essay, and fill in the blanks and load a paragraph. So you follow at least 1 cycle in order first, and then based on your need you follow cycle 2, cycle 3, cycle 4. Another news for you is that from now on your intensive tracker is not going to be a physical copy, it's going to be an online copy, like so. So as soon as you get your first consultation, we'll give you an access to this progress tracker. So as you can see, all the cycles are here. If I go to the overview, this is the read aloud. In your cycle 1, you'll get your first preparation level. In your cycle 2, the next preparation level. In your cycle 3, the next preparation level. We're hoping that within cycle 3, you'll get to green level. Okay. Before you book your test or if you have an exam, we would expect you to have at least a level yellow for all the topics that we cover in the intensive feedback sessions. So, and there are some hyperlinks created for you here as well. If you want to just, let's say, you want to find out on cycle 3, I got green and what was the feedback note. So all you have to do is just go here, click on it, it will take you to that cycle 3 feedback. So you can kind of quickly read through what is your, what was your feedback for that feedback test and whatnot. Okay, so after your feedback consultation, the lecturer will assign you some practice tests as well. So if you feel like that after the feedback test you want to practice those ones before you go home, that will be highly advisable. So you go to your portal again, you should be able to see it in your portal that we have added you a practice test. You take that practice test and then you come to the next consultation based on your availability. On a single day you can only book 1 consultation, but in a week you can book about 6 consultations. So as soon as the timetable publishes, based on your availability, you just book the consultations as it is available. Okay? We feel like a particular student can get at least 4 consultations, 3 to 4 consultations a week, which is more than enough to kind of cover all the topics within 2 or 3 weeks of time. But obviously you need to push yourself to get as many consultations as you possibly can, just to kind of make sure that your preparation journey is much quicker than before. Okay, so that's about it. The main thing that I wanted to say is be aware of how to read the timetable, your lecture classes, and how to book for your intensive feedback sessions. It's no longer a walk-in, you can just book in, what this does is that you don't have to wait for your consultation feedback for a long time. You can basically get your intensive feedback sessions or practice sessions done within half an hour, and the time is kind of guaranteed. So if you book a consultation at 6 p.m., you will find a consultant giving you a consultation at 6 p.m. So that's how this new process will make the preparation journey much more smoother and more effective for our intensive feedback sessions. So hopefully this video was helpful for you to kind of know how you can access your intensive feedback sessions. Keep an eye on the timetable. Timetable will be mainly published in our Telegram groups from now on. It might not be available on the Facebook group, but Telegram group will always have the timetable available with the booking link provided. So make sure you click on the booking link, book your consultations, providing your PTE portal. I wish you all the best. Hopefully these intensive feedback sessions will make your journey much easier, and you can get to your PTE success much quicker. We hope that anybody and everybody gets their desired score within 6 hours of preparation time. Thanks for watching this video. We'll see you around. Thank you. Bye.